If we turn our backs and spit in his face, is God still gonna bless the USA?
According to some experts, the cabal controlling the world has been desensitizing us to UFOs and alien invasion. When Orson Welles performed his War of the Worlds radio show, thousands of Americans panicked, thinking it was a newscast instead of an audio play. In addition, we've heard stories about Roswell, New Mexico in 1948 and Barney and Betty Hill's abductions and much more. We've seen various alien invasion style movies such as Independence Day, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and E.T. Purportedly, Wernher von Braun warned that the government would lie to Americans to manipulate the population. Dr. Carol Rosin was the first woman corporate manager of Fairchild Industries and was spokesperson for von Braun in the last years of his life. In her testimony about building space-based weapons, she quoted von Braun and said, "The strategy that Wernher von Braun taught me was that first, the Russians are going to be considered to be the enemy. In fact, in 1974, they were the enemy, the identified enemy." She went on, "We were told that they had killer satellites. We were told that they were coming to get us and control us, that they were commies. Then terrorists would be identified, and that was soon to follow. The next enemy was asteroids." Now, at this point, he kind of chuckled the first time he said it. Asteroids against asteroids. We're going to build space-based weapons. And the funniest one of all was what he called aliens or extraterrestrials. That would be the final scare. And over and over and over during the 4 years that I knew him and was giving speeches for him, he would bring up that last card. And remember, Carol, the last card is the alien card. We're going to have to build space-based weapons against aliens, and all of it is a lie. Remember, Ronald Reagan spoke of the alien threat in his UN speech on September the 21st, 1987. And recently, someone posted on X that an asteroid or alien spacecraft will be over the Earth in early December. If it's a spaceship, the writer was unsure if the occupants would attack or rescue us. Greetings, Patriots. I'm Perry Green, and this is God in America. Elijah was a significant Israelite prophet. He confronted Ahab's and Jezebel's pagan prophets at Mount Carmel, calling fire down from heaven and revealing the Lord's power and truth. He did not die. Instead, God took him in the same manner as Enoch. Notice what Elisha, his successor, witnessed in 2 Kings 2. Then it happened as they continued on and talked that suddenly a chariot of fire appeared with horses of fire and separated the two of them. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. Later, Elisha prayed for his servants' courage in 2 Kings 6. And they saw a similar extraterrestrial vision, most likely of some kind of angels. Verse 16 reads, "So he answered, 'Do not fear, for those who are with us are more than those who are with them.' And Elisha prayed and said, 'Lord, I pray, open his eyes that he may see.' Then the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire all around Elisha. So when the Syrians came down to him, Elisha prayed to the Lord and said, 'Strike this people, I pray, with blindness.' And he struck them with blindness according to the word of Elisha." Ezekiel also saw something similar to a spacecraft that witnesses describe today. God's unseen armies of entities are battling over us. The shocking reality is that we are significant to God and the beings who want to usurp his authority. We're more than insignificant products of energized ooze from billions of years ago, living on a piece of microscopic debris in a minuscule galaxy in an overwhelming universe, as NASA describes. We should ask the same question King David did in Psalm 8, verses 3 and 4. "When I look at your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars which you have set in place, what is man that you are mindful of him, and the son of man that you care for him?" Think of the Bible's emphasis on your value to God. You were made in God's image, and he yearns for your presence. He wants to be in your life so much that he broke down the sin barrier with his son's death, burial, and resurrection. Adam and Eve unleashed sin and its consequences through their poor choices, driving a wedge between God and man. We've kept the separation intact through our sinful nature and unfortunate decisions. Yet John reminds us in the most famous New Testament text, John 3:16 and 17. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. What could be so important about humanity that God would deliver his Son on the cross for us? Why would he fight a cosmic war with the evil principalities and powers to rescue us and secure our eternal destinies? We matter to him. We did not evolve from some self-perpetuating bacteria, and God did not place the earth in a nondescript outpost in the Milky Way galaxy. He created the world and focused his attention on his image-bearing humanity. At the same time, all nature turns our attention to God. Von Braun chose Psalm 19, verse 1 as a tombstone inscription. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the skies proclaim the work of his hands. Our founders and framers knew God and committed their lives to him. Here are a few professions that express their relationship to the Lord. In his last will and testament, attested December the 9th, 1790, Samuel Adams wrote, I rely upon the merits of Jesus Christ for the pardon of all my sins. Charles Carroll, a signer of the Declaration of Independence, wrote in 1820, on the mercy of my Redeemer, I rely for salvation, and on his merits, not on the works I have done in obedience to his precepts. Then Robert Treat Paine was another one who signed the Declaration, and in his confession in 1749, he said, I desire to bless and praise the name of God Most High for appointing me my birth in a land of gospel light, where the glorious tidings of a Savior and of pardon and salvation through him have been continually sounding in mine ears. We stand with God in this great conflict against the invading anti-God extraterrestrials. Paul wrote in Ephesians 6, finally, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God that you may be able to stand against the schemes of the devil. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers over this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. Therefore, take up the whole armor of God that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand firm. Thanks for being with us today. As we close, let's keep the light of standing with God burning.